In this tutorial, we explain the functional structure of the mind with regards to our day-to-day functioning. Our mind is made up of three parts: the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind. As it's mainly the conscious and subconscious mind that come into play in our day-to-day functioning, in this tutorial we have focused on these two. Now this is a diagrammatic representation of the functional aspect of the human mind. The conscious mind makes up roughly 10% of our mind, while the subconscious mind constitutes 90% of our mind. If we think of the mind as something like an iceberg, the conscious mind is like the tip of the iceberg, and the subconscious mind is like the large mass of the iceberg below the sea surface. Just like the apparently invisible large underwater mass of the iceberg, the subconscious mind too is largely unknown to us. However, it plays a decisive role in every action that we perform, thus contributing to either our happiness or unhappiness. Hence, how we train and control our subconscious mind decides whether we predominantly experience happiness or sadness in our lives. The subconscious mind contains millions of impressions in the form of our likes and dislikes, temperament and give and take. We have collected these impressions over our current and all our previous lifetimes. So what is an impression? Any strong or repeated stimulus coming to the conscious mind through the five senses, thought or action, enters the subconscious mind and forms an impression there, or strengthens an existing one. If this impression is reinforced, it establishes itself in the form of a center. The more the repetition or the reinforcement, the larger becomes the center. This is similar to how a footpath is created in a field. Only if one were to walk along a certain track in a grassy field repeatedly would a footpath be created. Once a center is created in the subconscious mind, it starts sending impulses to the conscious mind, even in the absence of an external stimulus. Related centers align together to form bigger centers. We have many such centers in our subconscious mind, and the various centers are the identification and interpretation center. This center identifies and interprets the nature of an impulse. The next center is the like and dislike center. This center contains impressions of all the likes and dislikes of a person. After this, we have the instinct and desire center. And the instinct and desire center is a storehouse of all the desires and instincts of a person. The next is the temperamental characteristics center. It is a collection of the characteristics which comprise the temperament of an individual. And lastly, we have the give and take account center. This center maintains all the accounts of all types of give and take with others, and is instrumental in settling the accounts. For example, if Mr. X cheats Mr. Y, the give and take account center of Mr. Y remembers it and prompts him to settle the score at the first available opportunity. In an earlier slide, we mentioned that a center is made up of various impressions that are similar in nature. For example, the like and dislike center may contain impressions of liking chocolate, and it also harbors impressions of dislike, such as dislike of milk. Unknown to our conscious mind, these impressions and centers in our subconscious mind are the main cause of our actions and reactions. In truth, our personality is tied to the impressions in our subconscious mind, which define how we react to various things. We will cover this aspect in more detail in the next tutorial on why we do the things we do. That's all for this presentation. Thank you for joining us.